So combat masteries are a new thing in it. So let's have a look and see what we've got. Obviously there is 3 different combat styles as we know in the game already. You have got your melee, you've got your ranged, and you've got your magic. Now once you start this, you pretty much just want to go with one combat style. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different ones to go with once you get past the first one. So for instance, for melee, it hits having a 25% chance to take a roll damage twice and take the highest result. Melee hits have a 10% chance to generate an echo hit, additional melee hit, 50% max hit, respect of the accuracy PVM only. Melee attacks rate set to 80% rounding down. Melee hits have a 5% chance to heal 40% of damage dealt. Melee attacks rate set to 50% rounded down and above 5t, rounded up below 4. Your chances to generate an echo increases to 20%, and your additional echo can generate an additional echo up to 8 times rolls. So once you get to that absolute maximum combat mastery, that's going to be pretty good for melee. For range, we have damage roll beneath 30% of max, hit with range are increased to 30, each subsequent range attack has its max hit increased by additional 5%, resets after 20, range attack rate set to 80% rounded down, every 5th range hit heals 5 hit points, range stat set to 50% rounded down above 5 to 4, and never miss with ranged, obviously PVM only. Then finally we have got the mage. When you roll above 90% of your max hit with magic, damage is increased by 50%. Magic max hit is increased by 5% per tick in between your attacks up to 40. Magic attack rate set down to 80. Obviously then you've got when you roll above 90 of your max hit, they will heal 10% of damage dealt. Magic attack rate set to 50 and again 5 to 4. And max hit with magic is increased by 1% for every 100 hit points remaining on a target, up to 10% on successful magic hit. If your target has less health than your max hit, you max hit. Pretty decent, I'm not gonna lie. Now, I've gone already early on with this. I am personally gonna go with the mage option. The way that you actually get these points is by completing these 10 different masteries. So as you see, we have got defeat a giant, defeat 10 monsters with a combat level of 100 or more, defeat thingy by yourself, defeat a monster with a slayer requirement of 55 or more, defeat Jad in the fight caves, reach combat level of 100, defeat an echo boss, defeat 2 unique echo bosses and 3, and defeat Zook as well. So they are not necessarily crazy requirements. They are meant to be able to be completed. You will obviously get 10 points for completing them, and every single time you'll be able to get some passive effects as well, which is always going to be fantastic to go with it. So obviously with all of them, they should have the same. So once you go through all the passive side of stuff, it is going to be wonderful. Now, depending on what you're going for is going to be dependent on what you want to really get up first. Obviously, for me, magic is going to be the big one. So I'm going to try and get that to as high up as possible to then be able to complete a lot of these quicker than I have done before. So personally for me, it's a very nice extra bonus on top of all of the relic side of stuff and tasks that you've got to complete. And then obviously you have got your combat summary once you start getting into the masteries. So the first one's going to be quite easy with defeating a giant. Let me know down below where you're going with. Are you going for melee, range, or magic?